Welcome back. By the way, we'll have one more number from Sinead and the band later on before we leave you tonight. Now, my next guest has lived a nightmare. His daughter Shelby was abducted. However, this abduction was not perpetrated by a stranger, but by someone he knew and loved, his Irish wife, Catherine. After a 4-year search, he tracked down his fugitive wife, and he thought that the nightmare was coming to an end, but he was wrong. I want you to welcome, please, Josef Cannon. Hello, Josef. How are you? You're American.
Yes, I am.
So let's start at the beginning. How did you meet Catherine?
I had just landed a job with director Michael Bay, who did Armageddon and The Rock, and I was out celebrating. And walking home that evening, I was so excited that I wasn't paying attention to where I was going. And as I was crossing the street, this car had made a sudden left turn. And
a beautiful friendship, which culminated in marriage and the birth of Shelby.
Correct, yes.
Things went into a bit of recession in the movie world, so you weren't doing as well.
Right.
And you two kind of fell upon hard times?
No, it wasn't necessarily hard times. I mean, things were going well. I mean, living in Marina Del Rey, everything was wonderful. I just think that the lifestyle was different, you know, coming from Ireland and, you know, where her family has been in the same community the entire time. And then meeting an actor whose life does such an ebb and flow.
Sometimes it's great, other times
Absolutely.
Not so great.
Yes, yes.
So you parted?
Yes, we did.
Who looked after Shelby?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
It was an informal arrangement. I mean, didn't go through the courts at that point.
Right. It was just something that we just agreed upon, yes.
Okay. How often would Catherine see Shelby, typically?
No, it was wonderful because she saw Shelby every day. The way our living arrangements were, she was just about a block or two away from us. And also being a teacher, I was able to take Shelby to her school where Shelby would spend time in her class and then pick her up after school and then take her home with me.
When did it all go horribly wrong? You two were not living as man and were getting on well, you thought.
Correct.
What happened?
In 1998, she asked me could she take Shelby to Navan, Ireland to visit her mother that she was saying was ill. And so I had put them on the plane many times before. So I took them to the airport, bought the tickets, and sent them away.
And that was the last time you saw either of them for how long?
For over 5.5 years.
5.5 years?
Yes.
How soon did you understand that this was an abduction and not a holiday?
Well, I was up in Canada and I was working on something. I received a phone call from Catherine, and she had stated that her and Shelby and the babysitter, the nanny, were out at a mall, and that she had lost contact with the nanny and Shelby, and so she was in a panic. So I was going to hop a plane and fly over here to Ireland immediately, and then she said, you know what, I'll call you back in an hour. But in the meantime, I had received a phone call from her school stating that they had just received a letter from her claiming that she was resigning, which was a total shock to me. It was something I didn't anticipate. So when I called back the numbers that I had been dialing all week, all of a sudden every number I had dialed was no longer.
When you realized that she wasn't coming back, did you go to the police? Did you go to the immigration authorities?
Well, what I did was I called the State Department in Washington, D.C., and they immediately began to help me. And I also contacted Mary Cleary here in Ireland, who was with Amen, and she put me in contact with a lot of senators here in the Ireland area, yes.
Who were going to help you try to find Catherine?
Exactly, yes.
Why did you not simply hop a plane and come here?
Well, seeing that we have never had any type of battle, I was still going through, I was in shock. You know, I put them on the plane, everything was wonderful, I was talking to them the first few days, every day, 3 or 4 times a day, and then to all of a sudden have this happen to you, you spend more time trying to understand why. And, you know, is this happening? And you're trying to put all the pieces together. It wasn't something that I was able to force.
Shelby?
I have full custody.
Full custody?
Yes.
That's given by an American court?
Correct, yes.
Did you ever manage then to track her down?
Yes, I did. In 2002, I had a law pass named after Shelby. Myself and another father whose son was taken very similar to my case. And so we got together and we had a law pass. And in the process of that law, on the anniversary in 2003, Pierce Brosnan appeared. And he was there passing his own bill into law. Environmental bill. And so we met, and ironically, Pierce is from the same hometown.
That's right, from Navan in County Meath.
Yes, he's the same hometown as Catherine. And so we talked about the case, and we talked about the coincidence of him being from the same hometown. And, you know, he took the poster and the flyer that I had of Catherine and Shelby, and he just gave me a lot of words of encouragement and support. And some pictures were taken of him and I. And a reporter, Nicola Talent here in